All right, here we go, guys. Patch note 8 for Space Marine 2, the Siege update. I just downloaded it, haven't had a chance to jump into it yet. It's pretty late at night here where I am. But it says, hi, Space Marines. The 8.0 Siege update is now live on every platform. Here's a quick summary of its content. So surprisingly, the Siege event, the Siege update, I don't think in this update is the most interesting part of what's coming to Space Marine. And we'll see that here in a little bit. I kind of scrolled ahead a little bit, so it's not necessarily a live reaction. I just wanted to see if I knew what I was talking about when I was reading some of this stuff. So we're going to skip past the board here. We can see what they added. And we're going to go down to the new PvE mode Siege. I'll give you a little example here. It says, Siege mode expands on our PvE operations, emphasizing endless enemy waves that challenge even the strongest teams. When overwhelmed, players may call reinforcements for assistance and engage in intense battles across the 3 distinctive sectors, each requiring strategic adaptation. Side objectives emerge during combat, providing essential resources used to summon elite Space Marines or formidable dreadnought. Drastically shifting battlefield dynamics. The battle unfolds within a fortified Imperial stronghold on Kadaku, relentlessly attacked by endless waves of Tyranid and Thousand Sun enemies. The fortress has 3 rotating sectors, defensive positions, the arsenal, and the control room. In each sector, you will face 5 waves of enemies before your squad advances to the next sector, ultimately cycling back to reinforce earlier positions. Face increasingly challenging enemy waves with direct assaults from Tyranids and cunning sabotage by Chaos forces. A brief 1-minute intermission between waves offers strategic opportunities, clearly indicating through UI notifications. On the side objectives, dynamic tasks such as capturing strategic points or retrieving data slates from fallen allies deepen tactical gameplay and supply critical resources essential for continued survival. You can earn Siege mode resources through successful combat and side objective completion. You can spend these resources at the Fortress shop. You can buy ammunition, medic stems, equipment, armor boost, guardian relic. These items have the exact behavior as in operations mode. You can summon specialized Space Marines, providing targeted support and bonuses. Each player can only have 1 summoned Space Marine. You can deploy Cadian troops to provide additional firepower. Note about reinforcement changes from the PTS. Guardsmen are now cheaper. Collectively pool your resources to unleash the devastating power of a dreadnought. And then here's all like the requisition terminal where you get all your stuff, your resources and such. And then 0 of 1,500. It's like a dreadnought. Boss encounters. Every 5th wave introduces formidable boss encounters, occasionally facing multiple elite foes simultaneously. Triumph in these encounters to progress to new fortress sectors. Infinite waves. If your resolve endures through 15 brutal waves, prepare for endless combat of increasing difficulty, reduced resources, and shortened preparation times. Even the Primarch of the Ultramarines understands that ultimate victory here is unlikely, but your bravery will echo through the halls of eternity. I'm going to skip some of the changes with the PTS stuff, unless you guys specifically mention that you were in the PTS in the comments. I'm also going to kind of jump over the weapon changes. They're mostly like PvE weapon changes. They haven't touched on anything in PvP, but let me know in the comments if there's something that you want me to go over in the future. They added options to disable bot spawns and private windows. Private mode, perfect if you're looking for a challenge. RTO, experimental feature added, enables in-game video settings. DLSS4, better upscale multi-flame generation and NVIDIA settings for 50XX series cards. I don't have one of those, but I'm also playing on PS5. New season pass content. They added White Scars Champion Chapter, White Scars Chapter Weapon Skin Pack, Customization Pack, and Blood Angels Customization Pack. And we kind of get a good look at those here on the screen. Next, they have gameplay and balancing tweaks. Extended weapons arsenal and PvE. Added Thumber Hammer for Bulwark. Picking this up won't allow you to use the Storm Shield. They say they're adding this option only because they will think it'll be very cool, and it's a shame that only one class can use the Thunder Hammer. We're not done with Bulwark. More interesting gameplay things to come. So they added some new finishers, 1 new finisher, and Terminus updates for absolute difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. I believe a second Terminus can now appear during a mission. Carnifex, Neurothrope, and Hellbrute HP increased by 33% on absolute difficulty. Level-specific Terminus enemies, with the exception of the Hierophant Biotitan, HP increased by 66% on absolute difficulty. Additional enemy packs will appear upon Terminus enemy spawn and again when their HP is reduced to 50%. These additional packs are now slightly more challenging, featuring more extremist enemies. Missions with final bosses can now solo spawn Terminus enemies. Previously, missions like Decapitation didn't allow any Terminus spawns. This change made, according to the community poll that we made a while ago, we think that the absolute difficulty wasn't that hard to begin with, and now with a slight power creep of constant weapons buffs, perk buffs, and prestige perks, the situation is much worse. After doing multiple tests, we have scraped the idea of having 2 Terminus enemies in operations mode at the same time, except in siege mode, because this has meant that you would have to encounter them all of the time. Otherwise, one run with dual Terminus spawns would be much more harder than a run with 2 Terminus spawns. Spawning one by one, we are increasing the health of the Terminus enemies on absolute difficulty because they often can die before even dealing any damage. While this may seem like it goes against poll results, keep in mind that if we had 2, that would effectively be 100% HP buff. Also, we are nerfing Neurothorpe base HP across all difficulty levels, so its HP pool won't become a problem. Instead, we tried to make Terminus spawns harder and more intense. We are going to continue to monitor how absolute difficulty it is and make necessary tweaks. So we got perks class updates. Boost charge is now called Unyielding Oath. Rally point is now called Emboldened Soul. Boostage recharge is called Material Upgrade. Heavy prestige is the perk has been reworked. The new perk is Honed Precision. Tactical prestige perk update says Skilled Supplier fixed a bug preventing the player from getting the maximum ammo. So they also updated some of the class perks. Concussive First Force Shield Bash does 200% more damage. That was the old one. The new one, it deals more damage. And Thunder Hammer Pummel Smash deals 100% more damage and deals area effect damage within a 7-mile radius. Cooldown is 5 seconds. For the forward momentum, after a Shield Bash or Thunder Hammer Pummel Smash, melee damage increases by 30% for 10 seconds. Merciless Resolve, the new one is a Shield Bash or Thunder Hammer, melee damage increases by 50%. You do not lose control upon taking heavy hits. Every 40 seconds, all squad members automatically restore 1 armor segment. We will look at some of the combat quality of life. If a sniper team aims at you using Assault's jump pack ability will allow you to dodge the shot. Sniper will shoot instantly, but the shoot will miss. Fixed an instant where Neurothrope's Warp Stones after blast can stun lock the player with heavy hits. Now, after blast will damage the player but not control them. Additionally, Neurothrope's shots now have a slightly longer delay between them. Fixed a lot of minor issues, improving overall combat responsiveness. Right now, firearms are PvE only. They say that there are not many weapon balance tweaks in this patch because our statistics show that usage and win rate for all weapons is in a good spot right now. With the big update, we are going to focus on weapon versions balance instead of archetype because this is where we see a big room for improvement. Now for PvP, it says with the next patch, we are going to take a closer look at PvP weapon balance. They say a large amount of small fixes in level geometry collision and lots of minor fixes for private lobbies gameplay modifiers. So this is the big news here, customization. It says we are preparing a big update for customization, a very big update. Players will be able to reuse Chapter Champion armor parts on other classes, with lower accuracy, clipping, and technical restrictions. While it's not going to be in this patch, we wanted to mention this in this patch notes to assure you that we are going to continue expanding our customization system. So they want to say they added red, white, and blue to siege mode rewards, added prestige award shoulder pad on the left shoulder as well, left pauldron decal, ultramarine sergeant, and lots of other minor fixes for customizations of armor parts and emblems. Now, I think a big thing will be letting you customize your armor and missions. A lot of people seem to have asked about that. General fixes: fix an issue where spore mines could spawn on top of the player. Fix several cases where contested health may decrease while performing a finisher. Fix combining sniper's prestige perk, Emperor's Grace, with lingering concealment. Perk drains the ability charge while lingering is active. Fix weapon perk reloaded restoration. Was not activated by the sniper's perk efficiency readiness. Fix an issue where the bulwark perk's intimidating aura was not triggering with the perfect block. Fix an issue where the tactical's perk battle focus was not triggering with the perfect block. Intimidating aura and battle focus are probably the most overpowered perks right now, but we think that it should still work independently from selected weapon. They fixed a bug with the final shot perk not increasing damage in some cases. Fixed a bug affecting Heavy's Bonds of Brotherhood perk not granting full health when the player is revived by a bot. Fixed an issue provoking a game freeze on a black screen at the end of the PvE level on Xbox Series S. Fixed an issue where some pickups were inaccessible as a consequence of the interaction button failing to appear. Fixed the rare common bugs after finisher. Lots of minor animation fixes for the player. Minor UI sounds and visual effects and improvements. On the tech note, the crash fixes and general stability improvements, matchmaking and network stability fixes, minor memory optimization, improvements to game modding capabilities. Now, some people said, please tell me the middle bottom perk for heavy is working properly again. And we're actually immune to knockback in heavy stands. No answer. Somebody said, yes, that's very interesting, but what about PvP? Somebody said the BA and WS packs are available for season pass holders, but will they also be available separately? And then someone said always less than the bare minimum for PvP. Thunderhammer Bulwark, let's go. For the Emperor, they have made timer impact even worse. So what do you guys think if you jumped into the siege mode or this new update? Do you think it like revitalized the game a little bit? Has it made it a bit more interesting to play again? Less dull, added a bit of spice, a little bit of variety into the mix. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to make sure this is installed. I had to do a system update, and I'll check it out and let you know how I feel more about it. Until then, thanks for watching. Peace.